Well, it's the Hack of That podcast. I'm Al. He's Bruce.
Hello.
And this is the podcast where we talk about the hack of everything. We usually pick a subject each week and talk about the hacky aspects of that subject, meaning the crappy, like, cringe-inducing subjects. Aspects, sorry.
Yeah, aspects of the subject, exactly.
Yeah. This week we're picking a real hacky subject. Something that me and Bruce loved as teenagers, and I still love it now, just in a kind of, like, nostalgic way, do you know what I mean? Like, a kind of, like I would never listen to anything new. But the topic that we're discussing today is none other than metal!
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Heavy metal, rock music, we're going to probably touch on a few non-metalish but rock things as well.
Things and stuff, but we're going to be like that whole culture.
Which in itself is cringy as fuck.
Yeah, definitely is.
I think it's obviously cringy to the average person, but I think to us, since it's associated directly with our teenage years, it's always going to be cringy.
Anytime I look back at my teenage years, I'm one of these people that just can't forgive myself for saying things when I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
Never mind when I was a teenager.
Yeah. And you can proper remember everything. Yeah. Oh man, it's rough.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's so bad.
How old were you when you got into metal music?
Real young.
Yeah, me too. Real young.
like my dad. Like I said it. I probably said it on the podcast before, but like one of my earliest memories is driving. I must have been 4 or 5. And we were driving from, like one of my earliest like musical memories, you know what I mean? Would have been, we were driving from Dublin to Wexford in the car with my Uncle Ken. Shout out to my Uncle Ken, the guy's a fucking legend. But he had a tape of the first Rage Against the Machine album, and he was playing it in the car, and he was explaining the lyrics to me, old lad, in the front seat, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's like 5-year-old children in the back. And
see,
it's
now the 15th time he screams freedom, what he means.
Yeah, exactly. He's looking at me dad's face, and he's like, "You're just a victim of an in-house drive-by." And he's like pointing at me dad's head, like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, keep going. Yeah, oh yeah.
No, it's only on the 19th time that the people who burn crosses. I love Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, so do I, man. Rage Against the Machine run real. Up to like top 5 favourite bands of all time. Like,
that's a good one, like introduction to metal for you, or rock music for you.
Definitely, yeah.
I'd say like my earliest memory of like attaching to it is Slipknot. Like Slipknot was one of those things. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "What the fuck is that? I love it."
We need to know more.
Yeah. Because I was already into like fucking. I know. I suppose I wouldn't have been already into like bad Tim Burton films. I think I would have been like seen Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't think I ever really associated. It does look the same. It has the same aesthetic.
Like in my head as a 8-year-old, I wasn't like, "Oh, that's the same." But that was the reason I was probably gravitating towards it, because I liked shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, but it just looked fucking mad. There's 9 lads in jumpsuits with crazy fucking masks, kicking the shit out of each other, lighting each other on fire.
Yeah, it's obviously fucking chaos. You're just like, kids love chaos, man, you know what I mean?
In 2001, I would have been 8 years old, roughly. And I flew with my brother to Scotland to meet Slipknot, fucking like a HMV CD signing thing.
Did you meet all 9?
Yeah? All of them still had to sign shit in them.
That's fucking unreal, man.
Yeah. I'd never been...
Slipknot were great.
They were fucking deadly.
Yeah.
Hacky now in their own way, but I still
think... At the time, Slipknot were groundbreaking shit, like.
And they still hold up, I think. The
music I never liked them.
Yeah. But what I mean
what they were doing, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Like, you listen to a Limp Bizkit now, you're like, Jesus.
You're like, oh my god, how was this ever the fucking most popular shit in the fucking world at one stage?
Literally the most popular shit,
He was in fucking WWE SmackDown, as you recall in a previous episode.
As we've discussed before, and that was the pinnacle of celebrity in 2000.
Yeah, man.
Or 2001. But, yeah, so Slipknot was my intro. I was definitely like a new metal kid, I suppose, like just by proxy at the time. Like I think the first album I ever bought, which I bought off my brother's friend, was Linkin Park Hybrid Theory. Yeah,
that's the first album I think I bought was Hybrid Theory as well. I think I might actually been.
If that's true, that's funny.
Like either that or it was the fucking hot dog flavoured water. Yeah, and I must have been 8 or 9 by the time I actually bought my first album.
Yeah,
but like my dad had CDs
out the door.
He still does, like. But I remember like looking through his CDs, and you'd like remember you could see like the fucking artwork on the side of the on the spine of the CD. and it was just like one of them just like Korn, and it was Korn's first album.
Yeah.
And the first two songs I think are
Blind.
Yeah, Blind, yeah.
And then there's...
And Ball Tongue is the second.
Yeah, the fucking... That second song's unreal.
Yeah.
Slipknot based their whole career on that second song.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It's real heavy, but Blind is like... And it builds right up to it, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking deadly.
The bass in it.
But we're sitting here talking about how great Korn are, and I have a note that's about Korn. It's like, what the fuck was that all about? The scatting.
Yeah, come on, check it out. I think he was like doing DJ scratches with his mouth.
Yeah, because they did like hip hop a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot of all the Adidas. And stuff.
And they covered "Wicked" by Ice Cube on
Ice
their
Cube,
second album. But then, like 4 albums in, he's like, we're really on something. What if I just start going?
So he does do it at the end of Blind.
Alright, so he was always into it. And then there's the song "Daddy."
Yeah.
I really listened to that last year. I was listening to him talk
One
about
time.
it. Like, yeah. Wouldn't go back and listen to it 10 times.
See, that was a tune. Let's stick that.
You raped. It's the first line.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking we're talking like Korn and Slipknot are the good side of new metal.
Yeah.
Like the hackier side of new metal is stuff like fucking
Fear Factory.
They're not. They're their own thing. They're one of the worst bands I've ever heard. And I'm going to lump these people in the same category. Deftones. Awful. I just don't get it.
Absolute pure garbage, man.
What the fuck was going on there? It was like
whiny
almost
teenager stuff. Like.
It was very emo-y before emo.
Yeah, it was heavier than emo.
Yeah.
It was like California, late 90s angsty stuff.
Yeah.
It was like what Nirvana eventually like.
Would have.
Yeah.
Not would have.
Would have put like they
inspired.
are the next logical step to Nirvana in terms of late 90s, early 2000s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That explains their existence because I couldn't fucking think of a reason for it before.
Back to school.
Oh man. And just the heaviest, most like industrial sounding.
Yeah, super, yeah. Like they were all that new metal stuff was all Ministry.
Or Static X.
Yeah, I thought, oh man.
Did you know
Wayne Static?
Well, he's dead now.
I know, yeah, rest in peace.
There's two things one thing about Static X that leads me into another hacky thing. The guitarist, I can't remember his name, Trip something, was also...
No, I really like guys with the name Trip.
No.
What's Trip short for?
I don't know, but he's a paedophile. That's what I'm getting to. Because do you know the band Murder Dolls?
Yeah.
Hacky. He,
yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. I'm saying that.
Yeah.
He joined them, and then the allegations came out, and they were like, right, you were never in this band. You know what I mean? Like, they just replaced him for someone who looked very fucking similar. But, yeah, Murder Dolls and all that shit as well, which is kind of after new metal. I was real into that, man. I also met Murder Dolls when they came over to
fucking... When you're a virgin,
fucking
Liffey Valley, yeah.
I embarrassed my brother in front of Joey Jordanson.
As if Joey Jordanson cared.
No, like, it was... My brother took a picture of me with him and then handed me the camera and sat down. My brother sat down beside him, so for me to take the photo, I took the camera and walked away. So the whole band looked at my brother and paused him for a photo and just be like, oh, for fuck's sake. And this happened, it was so funny. My brother was raging. I left and walked out the shop, like, just because I was kind of starstruck as a fucking 12-year-old or 10-year-old or whatever. And then we went and got food, and half an hour later my brother was like, fuck it, I'm going back in and queuing back up to get a picture. And when we walked in, they all started laughing again because they saw... didn't remember that.
They're gonna remember that, man. Yeah. If the Murder Doll, the rest of the Murder Dolls, not Trip. If the rest of them,
he wasn't there.
No, right, yeah.
Like I was too young to be around.
Around him. He's in his own area, fucking Virgin Records. He's in the other corner.
The oldies. Or the youngies.
The youngies, yeah. Kids 5 to 9 go this way. There's a lot of 5 to 9 Murder Dolls, man.
But yeah, they definitely like saw the embarrassment. It was, they thought it was gas, put it that way.
Yeah, it fucking says it.
Yeah, because like my brother just being so hyped up, me having the camera and just not even thinking, just walking straight away. Like,
and he's like,
like they're sitting like arm in arm. Oh, funny
That's
shit.
Did you get the picture?
Yeah, and the second go around.
Did they have a laugh about it?
Yeah, they were all laughing at it. Even my ma was laughing with them about it. Like, it's in Liffey Valley.
At least you were sound about it.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially, I was so small. Like,
Yeah.
I was in 4th class.
You're in 4th class.
Yeah.
I'm saying 5 to 9-year-olds go see the paedophile. Like, you were one of them.
Because I got a
In 4th class.
I got paused.
Listen to the murder dolls.
There was something weird.
It's just like I was sitting there, man. I was like, I don't want to do my homework. I'm still going to be a Slipknot, and I fucking.
I went in the next day because on the second go around, I didn't have anything to get signed against. So I fucking signed my arms. I went into school next day covered in permanent
murder doll tattoos.
Our teacher, who was also the principal, was like, "Get rid of that." I was like, "All right."
You were just like, "Sorry, guys."
Just too hard for this, you know what I mean? It just looks so fucking cool. It's good crack though.
Yeah, definitely good crack. More than us, new metal. Other shit bands in new metal.
Spine Shank.
I never listened to Spine Shank. It was Mushroom Head.
Oh. What was that? That was just like Slipknot 2.0, like.
Slipknot fucking 0.6.
Yeah, Slipknot -1.
Slipknot was 2.0, man. Slipknot,
Yeah.
like,
they were fucking bad. Were they heavier than Slipknot?
Yeah, Mudvayne.
Oh. They're real bad.
Like, they may not be new metal, but I associate all these bands with that time.
Yeah, I do think Mudvayne would be considered new metal.
Mudvayne.
New metal is such a funny genre because everyone thinks that's Limp Bizkit because it's the mix of rap and metal. But
it's like an industrial thing.
Yeah, Static X.
And then like this California goth
aspect to it.
You know what I mean? Like,
even Linkin Park as well, they'd be a big, like one of the biggest new metal bands, I suppose, really.
They definitely.
Terrible. Like they're one.
You seen them live?
No, just in general.
Yeah, you did? No, just on record.
Like when I listen back to Slipknot, I think, oh, that's still good music. If I listen back to Limp Bizkit, I'm like, I can hear why I like that at the time.
Yeah, listen back to Linkin Park, you're like, what was I thinking?
Oh my god,
it's so whiny.
Crawling in. Oh man, it's terrible.
And then what was the other one where he was like, he looked like a lesbian in the video? He looked,
one step closer to the
No, he looked like a lesbian in the video.
In the end.
No, it was like
he looks like a lesbian.
Papercuts.
Oh, Papercuts. That was like one of the first ones.
Yeah.
But he had the red hair and the man had the blonde hair.
He looked like he was writing fucking Twitter posts about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He looked like every fucking lesbian walking around town yesterday.
That you saw, yeah.
Man, you know what I mean? They flocked, spot the miles away. Short hair and a tracksuit on. You know what I mean? You're like,
were you in town yesterday?
Yeah, I went to town with fucking.
Apparently it was fucking hopping.
It wasn't in town late enough.
Ah, right.
Yeah, I got out of town about 9:20. I was stood at fucking my mate's house because he has me fucking boy kids.
Yeah.
And he can go fucking suck a dick. But he fucking
you'll have your back.
He ditched me for. He went off. He was like, "Come on into town, man. I'm going to meet these two boards. I'm meeting up this board. He has a mate." And I was like, "Grand." Went into town. This board that he was meeting up was an 11 out of 10. She was fucking divine. Sound, funny, gorgeous. And then the board he leaves me with looks like she came out from under a bridge to stop the billy goat's gruff.
Is she the type of young one that when she walks backwards it goes beep?
Yeah, and she was like, beep. And she talked like this, and she walked in the bank.
But I'm sure by the time this episode comes out and your man hears this, you'll have your bike back, hopefully.
I get the fucking bike today, the prick.
We'll see about that. But fucking hacky new metal bands. We forgot about Papa Roach.
Oh, Papa Roach, yeah.
I love them.
Man, I was just about to say. When fucking, the one with the fucking, where he's on the square stage and it shows all the fucking absolute fucking autists in their fucking gaff being fucking like, I'm really fucking sad my dad abused me.
Oh, what song is that?
Last Resort.
Oh, it is Last Resort. Yeah, the main one.
Yeah.
Cut my life
in two pieces. This is my last resort. But, suffocation.
What's there? Why can't I remember any of their other songs when I was mad for them?
She Loves Me, no?
Yeah, that was when they had the album with the red cover.
Yeah. And it was kind of like they went off the scene for about a year and a half and then came back on. They were like, I'm fatter now and I have less to sing about because I sold loads of fucking, went on this session. I was working out a year. And then there was another one. There's no money. There's no... all the fucking... The roaches are crawling all over him.
Yeah, it goes into his body and the veins and stuff.
There was a lot of that in new metal, wasn't there, in the videos? There was a lot of, like, CGI.
Yeah, because CGI was starting to come on. And
they were just like, let's combine.